Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Football Now for the latest round of Premier League fixture previews. We'll be offering our own predictions and running you through the betting odds. You can see this video will be focusing on West Ham hosting Nottingham Forest at 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon in West London. I think it is West Ham, of course. It is West Ham. East London, isn't it? Is it West Ham in East London?
I'm a northerner, mate. I don't know anything below Manchester.
London's London. Okay, yeah. We'll stick to this. Before we get into the actual game, I'll remind everyone of the ongoing competition we've got going on here at Football Now. Like it says there at the bottom of the screen, win a football shirt of your choice. Once we hit 100 subscribers, we are very, very, very close to doing that. You could be the person to tip us over the edge and to hit that 100 mark. So please do get involved in the comment section too. Let us know your predictions of everything that's been said. You may remind me where in London West Ham is as well. That could
East
be helpful.
London. Just Googled it. Sorry, I wanted to get in there quick.
There we go. It's a trick. West Ham. It's in East London.
Let's call East Ham. Let's call them East Ham. No, we can't lose. Can't lose West Ham subscribers. We've already lost Aston Villa subscribers from jinxing them.
Yeah, we've already jinxed one team that plays in Claret. We don't want to lose West Ham as well. So, like I said, yeah, that will be the winner of that competition will be announced on our Twitter at footballnow1_. Once we do hit the 100 mark, we're very, very close to doing so. On to the game, Connor. West Ham, Nottingham Forest. You want to talk us through the betting odds first of all before we get into it?
Yeah, well, I don't think we can jinx West Ham because they're already taking L's left, right, and centre. I mean, they do kick off favourites here, slight favourites 10-11, but their form is really alarming. After a very positive start to the season, they've dropped all the way to 12th. They've lost the last 3 Premier League games. Brentford last time out 3-2 away at Brentford. They lost. They beat Arsenal in the League Cup, Mickey Mouse Cup. They beat Arsenal in the League Cup last time out, which was would have been really good for them, but. Yeah, they've lost to Everton in the Premier League. They got hammered by Aston Villa. So they are slipping down there now. We spoke about the disappointing fall of Nottingham Forest. Well, they're only 1 point behind West Ham now, as fortunes change. And Nottingham Forest actually sneakily going under the radar. I mean, yes, they've only won 1 of the last 6, but they're just accumulating points because they've only lost 2 in those. They've got 3 draws there as well. I think it was a big performance and a big result for Nottingham Forest last time out against Aston Villa. Aston Villa, one of the informed sides in the Premier League, and they beat them 2-0 at the City Ground. And I think that will just give them a little bit of momentum and a little bit of confidence that they can capitalise on a struggling West Ham side. So even though 10-11, is okay. I just think with the form of the two sides, I think Nottingham Forest are going to get something here. So, yeah, I think my 50p might stay in my pocket for this one because it is a tough one to predict. West Ham are in action now. They are 0-0 with Olympiacos. So, again, a bit like Aston Villa, they're another one where have they taken the eye off the Premier League just a little bit because they are sitting second in that group, but playing third place. So, if Olympiacos was to win that, then it makes the European situation very difficult for them as well.
Yeah, it's easily done, isn't it, as well? I think that Thursday-Sunday schedule to drop points, it's not the easiest of routes to navigate, especially for these sides. West Ham, obviously, they were in Europe last year. They win the Conference League, but Villa returning to European football after, a couple of years out. You mentioned as well West Ham losing last time out in the Premier League away to Brentford, shipping 3 goals in the process, a 3-2 defeat for the Hammers. And I'm just looking at the recent form now in the league, and they haven't won in the league since a 2-0 home win against Sheffield United at the end of September. And we are now, approaching or getting closer to the middle of November. So, it's a concern, I think, for West Ham fans. It definitely is. Like last year, obviously, they're absolutely ecstatic with the win in Europe, but their league form was concerning. It was poor. And like you said, they are slowly getting, dragged down that table. Look, I'm not suggesting at all that they're going to be involved in a relegation scrap at all. I don't think they're anywhere near that. But, they'll be wanting to overturn their form in the Premier League, certainly. And a home game against Nottingham Forest, big win for them last time out against Villa, like you mentioned, because we were saying the same about them, weren't we? Sorry, they hadn't won for a while since the start of September away at Chelsea. We think they need to get, they're in need of a big result here just to try and stem that rot and to overturn their own form. I think West Ham will be looking to repeat that themselves this weekend. I'm just looking at the injuries. I think Kurt Zuma's questionable for West Ham. That he's the only concern that I can see for the home side. In terms of Nottingham Forest, Hudson-Odoi, Montiel, Origi and Wood are all ruled out, and Felipe is questionable with a knee injury, so it remains to be seen which of those, well, if he or Zuma do feature for either side. Yeah, what would you say, Connor, do you think is a realistic target for West Ham this season, bearing in mind they're in Europa League as well? What would you say they'll be looking at?
Well, I think when you're in Europe, you want to stay in Europe. Now, of course, they can stay in Europe by winning the Europa League and, of course, getting to the Champions League. But that's there's an equaliser for Aston Villa. Sorry, I only highlighted that because it's next to West Ham. I actually thought it was West Ham, but it's not. Sorry, West Ham fans. So yeah, you do want to stay in Europe, and obviously they got in Europe this season by winning the Europa Conference League. I don't see them winning the Europa League because there's a lot of quality teams in it, and a lot of quality teams still to drop down from the Champions League into that competition. So yeah, I think if they can remain in Europe, whether it's the Europa League or the Europa Conference League, I think that would be okay. And I think actually, I think that would be a bit of a success because last season their league form wasn't very good. It was only towards the end of that season that they was able to pull away, and also it's a big adjustment to cope without Declan Rice. And I think, what are West Ham, like just 12th, something like that? I think if they were a team that maybe started okay and climbed up, then we'd be saying it's a pretty decent season. I think because West Ham started so well, it looks worse than what it is. But I think if they can just get a few more points on the board, because this has been a horrendous run of form and they're still only 12th, then I think it's okay. I think if they get Conference League and they have a relatively okay run in the Europa League, I think they'll be relatively satisfied with their first season Riceless.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. They'll be looking for a good European run, won't they, as well? Like you said, they're drawing at the moment with Olympiacos at the London Stadium. With all this in mind, Connor, do you want to offer your prediction first for West Ham, Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, I said at the top of the video that I think it's a very difficult one to predict. I just think, Steve Cooper's side is always going to be tough to beat. You don't often rout Nottingham Forest. I think they'll get a point on the board, but I don't think this is going to be the game where they're going to turn it around and start getting a victory on the board. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw at the London Stadium, but I think it's a really tough game to predict between the two sides. I could see any result here. Certainly, I would say that if it was a loss for West Ham United, then that might start some serious concerns for David Moyes and West Ham. Yeah,
I agree. I'm going to go with the draw though as well. I'm going to go for a boring 0-0. Perhaps a hangover from playing in Europe. I don't think it's a bad result at all for Nottingham Forest. That even though, like we said, West Ham, aren't in the best of form. But yeah, I'm going to go for 0-0. As you can see, we've got our own head-to-head predictor going on between me and Connor. He's looking to close that gap. He did last week by a point. He's looking to do it by an even wider margin this time around. You get 3 points for the correct scoreline and 1 for the correct result. Let us know your own prediction as well, because that will give you a better chance of winning this competition that I mentioned at the top of the video. And you can see on your screen again, once we hit 100 subscribers, we will be giving away a football shirt of a winner's choice. One lucky winner will be pulled out of the comment sections of this video. All the other videos we are doing and have done on the channel so far, you can find them on the channel, and the decision itself will be announced over on our Twitter at footballnow1_. So give us a follow over there too. You could be the guy or girl which tips us over to 100 subscribers here on the channel. Do get involved. Good luck to everyone who puts their name in the hat. And go check out all the other videos. Like I said, you will see us over there on the channel. Next up, I think it is Brighton hosting Sheffield United, which we'll be filming. You can find that and all the others over on Football Now. We'll see you over there.